Our goal in putting this DVD together is to provide useful information that helps you choose the plan that's right for you. Unfortunately, this information also comes with a warning. Beware the Medicare scams. Part D is a big program with lots of options, and it can be confusing at times. Scammers take advantage of that by stirring up more confusion, enabling them to sell you insurance you may not need or just plain con you out of your money. The retirement living program, The Voice, dug into this topic with some interesting results. Here's what they found.
Just as sure as there are going to be new prescription drug plans, there will also be scams that are designed to get your money without delivering.
We're going to alert you to some known scams and tell you what to look for before signing up for prescription drug insurance.
Joining us to talk about that is Paul Precht, Policy Coordinator and Director of the Medicare Rights Center in Washington, D.C., and Albert Johnston, who says Medicare Part D is a great program, but you have to manage it. And Vicki Gottlish, Senior Policy Attorney for the Center for Medicare Advocacy Incorporated. Welcome, Vicki.
Thank you. So the question to you, if we are looking for supplemental options for ourselves, is there something out of the donut hole?
There isn't, basically. You can't buy private insurance that's going to cover you during the donut hole.
It will not, okay.
Right. And if anybody tries to sell you that, that's more than likely a scam. There are state pharmacy assistance programs that you can enroll in that are provided by the state, and there is the Extra Help program, which is available to folks with low income, and you can sign up for that at your Social Security office. But no one's going to come.
That's it. So what have we heard, Vicki, or maybe even Albert, maybe you've gotten one of these calls. What does a typical scam call sound like that somebody might get?
Well, we're hearing actually lots of door-to-door salesmen.
Really?
And door-to-door salesmen are not allowed. Anybody who gets a knock on their door, close the door, don't answer it. We get a lot of agents going door-to-door, senior centers, senior living, and trying to get people to sign up for particular kinds of plans.
Have you been approached?
Well, first of all, the approved providers for programs do have representatives that show up in senior centers. And I was at a senior center meeting just last week in which we had representatives from 3 of the listed people on the Medicare approved list.
Okay.
For instance, in Maryland, we have some 48 plans this year, so you know who they are. If they're on that 48 plan list or on the 56 for next year, then you know you're dealing with somebody and it's not a scam.
Right, incredible.
So essentially the best way of preventing a scam, even if it looks like a good one, is to check the list of approved programs. If it's an approved program, fine.
Right.
Except that we've actually had some people allegedly representing approved programs, going door to door in senior housing complexes. In one of our most egregious, they signed people up who weren't even English speakers, so they didn't even know the programs that they were signing.
Now, how about, Al mentioned within Maryland, how about outside of Maryland? How does someone who lives in Kansas deal with this?
The same way that Albert said, there are lists of plans. If you're at a senior center and somebody comes to the senior center, chances are they're an approved plan. It's the people who call you cold on the phone and say, can we come to your house, or the people who go knocking door to door. It's also people who immediately ask for your Social Security number or for your bank account number. These plans are not going to ask that. You might get a legitimate phone call from a legitimate plan. They're going to say, can I send you information? Once you say yes, if you're interested, then you contact them back and you give them your Social Security number.
Sure.
But don't give anybody your number over the phone.
It's important to distinguish, but there are scams out there that people are calling and asking for your Social Security number, and really, you shouldn't give it out, and those are scams. There are also people representing legitimate plans that are overly aggressive in their marketing, or that are telling you things that really aren't so, or not telling you things that you need to know. Maybe you'll ask them, are my drugs covered? And they'll say, sure. when they're not.
Because they're not even asking you what your drugs are, right?
Right.
That would be a key thing.
Exactly.
Well, what drugs are you taking?
Exactly.
Okay.
Or they're selling you an HMO when really what you want is straight prescription drug coverage. You sign up for the HMO,
And now
and
you're on a
that changes
full
how you
plan,
get your Medicare coverage. Your doctor might not be in the network. Those are all questions that you need to ask.
Right.
Don't feel pressured, and don't sign
Right.
up for anything where you feel uncomfortable.
And for our individual senior viewer who feels that they have been approached by someone who may be of a questionable background, what should they do?
Well, that's where your state health insurance programs come in. These people know the people that are approved. They also know and are on the network.
So you can call and you can say, ask the name of the business, say, sure, give me your name,
Yeah.
and then call your state office
Yes.
and say, are they on the list?
Yep.
You'll get the yes or the no. And that's what you need to know,
That's the easy
correct?
way out of that one,
Sounds
real
simple.
quick.
Yeah, that is a simple
Right.
simple
And you
alternative.
Another legitimate way to do it is somebody calls you, ask for their phone number, and say, may I call you back? Because if they give you your phone number, they're legitimate, you can call them back. If they say, well, you have to make a decision now, you know they're not legitimate.
And you should never, ever, to our viewers, ever give up that Social Security number until you're positive that you're dealing with someone legitimate. Never give it up over the phone.
That could give you a whole nother ball of scams.
Yeah, or your Medicare number.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right, or your credit card
which is a
numbers, or
separate
your
number.
bank account numbers, any personal identifying information.
John, it saddens me so much that some people prey upon seniors. But the best way to protect yourself against fraud is to know the facts. Legitimate Medicare coverage providers do not sell door to door. Nobody from Medicare or its providers will ever call you up and ask for your Social Security number or bank information. If it is a legitimate plan, they will ask to send you information instead. Your state SHIP office has a list of approved Medicare health plan providers. If you're not sure about a plan being offered to you, call up the SHIP office and find out if they are on the list.
Although a recent survey indicated that the majority of those who signed up for a Medicare Part D plan were satisfied with their coverage, Medicare Part D is far from perfect.
Navigating the Medicare maze can be confusing, but you don't need to go it alone. Here are some resources that will help you answer your questions about choosing the right Medicare Part D plan. These are also valuable resources if you are evaluating whether the plan you enrolled in last year is the best plan for you this year. So take advantage of this helpful information.
Get started on choosing your options for 2007.
If you are eligible for Part D, I encourage you to take full advantage of this benefit.
Spotlight on Medicare Part D is part of an ongoing effort at Retirement Living TV to focus on important issues related to seniors. Frequently, we will feature a new Spotlight topic, and if you have a topic that you would like us to spotlight, please let us know at www.rl.tv.
On behalf of everyone at Retirement Living TV, I'm Alexis Abramson.
And I'm John Palmer. Thanks for joining us.